now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everybody. It's so awesome to be here. My name is Natasha Denman. Please ignore the Donna Brown name at the top. I'm still working that out with GoToWebinar, how to change the organizer. And a special guest presenter here next to me
It's Donna Brown.
It's Donna Brown. No, it's Stuart Denman, my partner in crime. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Natasha Denman, and tonight you're here for the Ultimate Brand Accelerator Formula webinar. I have been pulling together some new intellectual property around some of this information and presenting a big event that's coming up. I will be telling you a little bit about that later in the call. But first of all, I just want to make sure you guys can hear me and see my PowerPoint presentation. There's many of you coming through, which looks like the call will be at full capacity.
Have you turned the beeps off? Yes.
Yes,
good.
all the beeps are off. Hey, Elizabeth, I can see you and hear you. Drew, you can't hear anything as yet. So, however, everyone else is saying they can hear me. So,
Yep.
if you're dropping, you can hear me now. Perfect. Okay, good. Yes. Has it started yet? Yeah. And Rosalind, yes, it has started. So if I'm dropping in and out, guys, usually sometimes it means that your bandwidth may not be good, might be dropping in and out. A lot of the time, that's what happens, and we'd rather obviously just wait a few minutes and see if it comes back rather than writing a comment straight away. And that way we will do the best we can, and we trust that it's not going to be our internet from our end. Awesome. Thanks, Elizabeth. Yes, you can hear me. Perfect. So I'm just going to delete, and hello from many people. Sorry if I don't individually say your name with your comments and everything, because when we get this many people on a webinar, it's kind of hard. Like, it's just like a whole sea of comments and responses that we get. Hello, Eleni.
Look, this is what happens. This is what happens when we don't record it. This is what happens when look how many people are turned up live.
I know, it's amazing. Hey, Wendy, as well. How do I watch on web? I have registered. Well, you should have been able to log on through your computer, and I am showing my screen at the moment. So you should be able to see through that. Awesome. Great to see Sally as well from Adelaide. I met Sally over there. I remember that. Elaine and Philip, Karen, and Drew. Okay, cool. That's there. Okay, awesome. Excellent. I've just deleted all the comments so my question box can stay clear, so I can then keep noticing what is popping up. Now, as always, I love an interactive call. However, what I will do in this case is when I ask for some interaction, please then post, so I can then obviously respond to those things. And please be assured that at the end, we'll stay behind as long as it takes to answer all your questions. We will absolutely finish the content on time because we want to be respectful of everyone's time. However, we will stay past 9 p.m. For as long as it takes, for whatever questions you have for myself or for Stuart. All right, so that sets it all up. So, guys, there is a lot of new names on the call that we've been connecting through all over Australia. So, a little bit on my background and how we've come to do what we do today and why we're here talking about this particular topic. And where it all started is I was born in Macedonia. And I spent the first 14 years of my life there. So I was a person who did not speak a word of English when I came here. And I was separated from my mother for 2.5 years. So she left Macedonia when I was 11 and a half. And it was a really tough journey. But the two things that I really learned and the skills that it gave me is very much resilience and independence. And it was a tough time. I don't know if a lot of you would be probably around my age, I'm guessing, but you remember about 25 years ago, there was no such thing as Skype or Facebook, and we communicated via letters. My mum and I were pen pals, and pretty much every 10 days we'd hear from each other, or once a year we would have that very quick 1-minute phone call, because those conversations were like $100 a minute back then, and it was something ridiculous. So I came here in Australia when I was 14, and into a new country where I just basically I was like duck out of water. Yeah, is that
you
the
would have
same?
been. That is the
Yeah.
same. Not
And
Macedonianising it now.
not Macedonianizing it now, yes. And you know, one thing that my mum always said to me, and the reason I'm telling you this story is because this is something that has really helped me in my business and to push through those early moments of being you know, not known as a brand, not known from a bar of soap by anyone around me, and also having a perception when I started out in business that I look quite young. So therefore, if I was young and you know, I just kind of didn't have that credibility. And I think a lot of people who are either young or look young can find that trouble around building their brand and actually having people take them seriously. So, one thing mum always said to me, and this always rings in my head, is that every beginning is hard. And and that every time I start something new, that always is ringing back in my mind. And when I started out in business, I said to myself, well, my mum said every beginning is hard. So, you know, I just have to push through this period. And it took me a good couple of years to get through and break through and achieve some success in my business. In the first 12 months, I generated $7,000, and the following only 43,000. The turning point in my business was very much the writing of my 7 ultimate secrets to weight loss. So a lot of people ask me, well, what was your defining moment, Nat? What is the thing that really just made people take notice? And it was the writing of that particular book. It's the second one from your left here on the screen. And very much so the rebranding of my original brand, which was PRS Coaching, which stood for absolutely nothing, to obviously ultimate weight loss. The top left hand side on the corner there, lose the last 10 kilos, which really positioned me as an expert and a specific expert within that particular niche. Hey, Valentina, nice to see you too. So, over the years, I have evolved through many different brands, as you can see in this particular picture of a little bit of a summary of our journey in business. It's been 5.5 years later, and someone asked me the other day, did I take some time off by having my second and third child? And I said, no, I actually worked right the way through because it keeps me sane. Being an entrepreneur, being creative, working on my brand is what keeps me sane, while at the same time I can be a mum and have that flexibility around having family and business flow. So I'm the type of person that will tell you that I don't believe in balance. I actually believe in flow to achieve and do the things in our lives that actually tick a lot more than just one box, whether it's, running a business, making money, running a household, having your children, having a family, and all of those things. I think you can achieve quite a few of them by creating that flow in your life where, for example, we go on quite a lot of my business trips. We'll say when we go to Queensland, when I go to Queensland, I'll take the whole family. So at the same time, while I'm executing a couple of events there, we have a family holiday and we reconnect and we spend quality time together. So we kind of are doing all of the things at the same time. We were in Europe in June. What we were doing is we were on the beach. I would do an hour of business every few days, reconnect, make sure I kept the momentum going, but at the same time, we're having a totally relaxing time for the whole 5 weeks and came home without losing any momentum. So over the 5 years, I have published 5 books, and it hasn't been easy. There were moments where I used to whinge and cry at my mum and my husband. I can't believe I can't buy my son clothes or a toy, because actually my mum was buying him clothes. And those things, and the mindset funk that occurs when we're early on in business, we are always, I believe, in the first 12 months or even up to 2 years, we have a lot of challenges when it comes to our mindset, our fear of not being good enough. And even so, even at stages where you do develop and become more relaxed about how your business is running and growing, we still can have those moments where we lose the confidence, we lose the certainty. However, when you have collected enough references for success, I believe that also ends up, you're able to overcome those moments and start to feel better. So that's a little bit of our story. For those of you that don't know us, last year was our 7-figure year. So we did generate 7 figures in 2014. And that's why I wrote the bottom left-hand book, which was Natasha Denman Reveals 1,000 Days to $1 Million Coaching Business from Home, because that was the system of what I had taken to do over those 1,000 days to eventuate into $1 million business. And this year we're pretty much backing it up, even with a brand new baby, which is Zara. So you can see the little picture. That's Stuart, who you heard before. As Mika, who's 4, Jadi's 6, and Zara is 9 months old. So we're moving house tomorrow. We're picking up the new keys to our 3rd property, and we're very excited. We've got boxes all around us, and the big truck's coming on Saturday, so we'll be doing lots of car loads and things like that. So that's what's happening in our life at the moment. So now I would love for you to interact with me a little bit. And I want to tackle some of the challenges that you guys are having, because if we can open up and talk about the challenges that you have around your brand, then perhaps some of the content that I've got to share with you, I can then intertwine some answers, because I'm very good nowadays thinking on my feet and really coming up with some pointers and solutions around challenges that people present immediately in front of me. All right, Elizabeth says, oh my God. I think you meant, oh my God, about the move. We're moving tomorrow. I had someone actually email something to me earlier. I think Colin from Adelaide, and one of his things he thought it was a challenge is how do you really find and differentiate that point of difference around your brand, because there's so much noise out there in the marketplace. So those were one of his challenges, and we'll talk about that later as well. Elizabeth said yes. Okay, let's have a look here. Drew, not knowing how to make me look and sound great. Does that make sense? So Drew, if I can clarify, one of your challenges is you're not sure what you would look and sound great to make your brand stand out. And by the way, hey, Colin's there. There you go, Colin. I'll put up your little challenge on there. Chris says, staying on my path and not letting other people to creep in and try and partner me. I don't want to muddy the waters. Yeah, yep, that's really a really good one. Yes, that's it. Okay, cool. Thank you. So those are all challenges that we all face. Also, a lot of people sometimes face the challenge of what if how will I be perceived? And I think, Drew, that's some of the some part of what you were saying before as well. It's like, oh, will I put something out there that's positive towards my brand, or will it reflect negatively upon me? Okay, yeah, sure.
Drew, one of the things that could be is if you want to be seen in a different light, if you're not currently doing any videos for your business on social media or any different platform that you're doing it on, actually come across very just authentically as you are doing some videos. Make sure that you actually you're doing it with a purpose. So a lot of the time it is just connection and letting people see the real you, but also do it with an intention to show people that you are authentic and that you've got, that you will be seen in a positive light.
Yeah, and we will talk about the authenticity and you as a person, because I trust that a lot of you guys on the call are actually looking to build your personal brand, because my guests and my community and a lot of my community are people who are saying service-based businesses and that they are their brand. But I'm a very much big believer, even if you're in a product-based business, if you're early on in your business, you're still your brand. So Elizabeth just said saying knowing what to outsource and what to do myself. So certainly, yeah, you need to know those things, because if you're doing a lot of things yourself and you're not actually working on your brand, then that could be a challenge as well. Karen says challenge maintaining presence across multiple platforms. That's a really good one. Andrew said thank you. And Karen here, a couple of Karens. So sorry, I'm just kind of going through the comments. How do I become known in the business arena as the go-to person? Perfect. We'll be talking about all of that. And one more challenge, integrating or keeping separate my personal brand versus my business brand. Very good. All right, I'm just going to delete all of those so my screen's clear. Okay, so thank you for sharing those. Some of my challenges were that obviously my brand was not known. I was not obviously magnetizing any people to me. I wasn't sure if I was good enough to charge what I wanted to charge with people. And pretty much I felt like no one was responding to me when it was early on in business. Like I would put stuff up on social media and I would hear the crickets singing, and that was really kind of disheartening, which can happen very much so in the early days. However, consistency and putting yourself out there is so, so important. So we'll go through quite a lot of those challenges that you guys have addressed here with some of the content we've got prepared tonight. And please, if I do miss something and I haven't remembered, because there was quite a lot of you on here, do post that question up later in the question time at the end, and we'll address it again. All right, let's keep going. So, what do these have that is so special? So, for those of you, I'm guessing that 95% of you on the call would know who these people are. So, we've got top left, Tony Robbins. Top right, we've got Marie Forleo, who's American-based entrepreneur. We've got our home base, Michelle Bridges, bottom left, and we've got Hugh Jackman. So, he's obviously an actor. So, this is where I would love for you to tell me, what do they have that is so special? What do you reckon, Stuart? What would you say? Okay, here we go. Karen says strong brand, recognizable, and have a reputation. Yep, that's perfect. Antonetta says presence, charisma, energy. The magic brand from Lucy. Drew says they do their own thing and do it well. Yep. Elaine, that says charisma as well. Fantastic. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh, there's so much there. Michelle Bridges has a wealthy husband that promoted her. Yep. Okay. I didn't know that. Di says everyone knows who they are. Hugh is hot from Karen. Laugh out loud. Valentina says congruency. They walk the talk. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Consistency. Excellent from Chris. Philip, constant presence in the media channels. Ooh, I like. Are you guys getting a few hints here around building your brand? I love these answers. Thank you so much. Elizabeth, had she's with the command.
She had a wealthy husband.
I had a wealthy husband, and now she's with the commando. Now Michelle Bridges. Okay, that's gossip we're learning now on this call. Serena says we do see them often and everywhere, so they're everywhere and they're authentic from Antonetta. Beautiful. Few laughs here from everybody. All right, let me get rid of all those comments. That was awesome, guys. Absolutely. So they do have presence. They do have charisma. They come across authentic, and you see them plastered everywhere. So they have that recognition. How did that come about, and what are some of the things that they have done? Well, certainly we know Tony Robbins has presented a lot offline seminars, mega trainings and boot camps and immersive events. We know Marie Forleo has her own like TV channel. All of these guys have written books, and so they're all authors. They certainly have been in the media. And you know what? One thing though, why are they so special? I will tell you, and this is not none of those say the previous things that we have also spoken about, but the biggest thing that makes them special is that they know, and they deep down within them how unique and special they are. Okay, so they truly believe they're it and a bit. Okay, and when you start to believe that, because there's only one of you in this world, so for me, I truly believe that myself as well. So there's no other Natasha Denman that can ever deliver the flavor of material and content that I deliver to my clients in my way, in my style. And this is what these guys do so well as well. They know that they're the only ones in this world that can bring what they've got to bring, and they really embrace that. And when when you start to see that special and unique part of you, then other people buy into what you value, and they want to have a piece of that, because they buy into the self-love that all of these individuals have for themselves, and the self-respect that they also have. So that's a little bit of a mindset thing where they know they've got value to add in this world, and they know they're the only ones that can do it in their way, and they attract their tribes and their community. So that is huge. That is absolutely huge. Karen, I just read your comment. Hugh is it in a bit. Yeah, he is. All right, so fantastic. All right, so that's what I wanted to just talk about a bit. But now here's the next one. So, certainly feel free to add some answers to this one as well. Why would you work on your brand? But certainly, what I have learned over the last 5.5 years is these few things, because you must build in some way that trust, intimacy, the know, like, and trust formula for you to then gain those clients and prospects into your business. And how that occurs is through building your brand and the exposure that you have out there. Secondly, you would want to work on your brand, because when you have an established brand, guess what? You can charge higher rates. The minute my Seven Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss book came out, my prices doubled per hour, and then they doubled every 5 clients. Not doubled, but increased every 5 clients that I would get. And where I started as a coach charging $125 an hour, nowadays I charge $1,000 an hour, and I don't blink my eye at it. Okay, so by working on your brand and also working on your skills and continuing to educate yourself around what your expertise is, not only will you be able to solve people's problems a lot faster. Like, why do I charge $1,000 an hour? Because what used to take me 6 months when I started out now takes me 60 minutes. Okay, so that's also relative to what I can do for people within their businesses versus what I could do for them when I was first starting out. So that's where you also, when you look at coaches that charge different amounts, well, which one are you going to hire and who's going to help you get there faster? That's something to consider as well, guys. Leverage your expertise via products. Okay, so we only have so much time, and that next one is stop selling your time for money. But I have a very big belief that if you have a strong brand, then certainly you can continue selling your time, like running seminars like Tony Robbins still does. But ultimately, you can have a huge passive stream arm which actually sells really well. And I'm a big believer that when you become famous offline, you will then become famous online and have that following from people online. You'll magnetize your ideal client to you. So no longer is it always chasing business, always push out there to get lots of marketing and chase clients. All of a sudden, you're starting to walk into places and people are saying, "Oh my God, this person spoke about you," and "Oh, I've heard about your program. That's really cool. I've seen your ad on Facebook," or "Oh, you've got this particular group," and things like that. Those kind of things are happening to me all of the time, and I just basically need to say my name, and there's no need sometimes, in a lot of instances, in the places I hang out in, to actually go on and actually say my barbecue speech, because all of a sudden people know who I am and what I do. I'm not quite yet to be put up on those pictures of who those people are, but by turning up, it's starting to occur more on a local and spreading out throughout Australia. So you want to expand your business beyond you and ultimately sell your business for a large profit upon exit. So if you create something that also is able to be replicated by other people, as I did with the licensing of Ultimate Weight Loss on Ultimate Business Edge, then you could on-sell that and other people can use that intellectual property, or you can systemize your business and have an amazing little product to then be able to retire on. Awesome. All right. So this is where I'd love to get some insights. I did a bit of research before. Like, this is brand new stuff that I'm pulling together. This is not an old PowerPoint that I did. I sat and created this the other day fresh. And I did a bit of research, the top 8 reasons why people buy. So before I reveal them, I would like for you to, and please just do one word answers, because these are actually pretty much one word answers here. Why do you think people buy from you? Trust from Chris, yeah? Okay, keep them coming. I'd love to know what you think before I put them out there. Value from Eleni. Experience from Antonetta. They will that they will have with you. Know, like, and trust from Karen. Yeah, value from Jenny. Confidence, nice. You guys are pretty much very close to what it's meant to be. Joe is saying referral. Authenticity, nice, Yolanda. Um, answers. I don't know what's in it for me. Okay, the WIIFM. I worked it out pretty quickly. What's in it for me? Yep, empathy from Elizabeth. Excellent, Philip. Right product, fit, relationship, authenticity, credibility, curiosity. Love it. Trust. Okay, you can stop now. Perfect to solve a problem. This is really cool, guys, because you guys have pretty much nailed it. So let's reveal them. All right, here we go. Credentials, testimonials, experience. A lot of you put that on there. Authenticity, knowledge, skills, price, enthusiasm. That no one had that one. Enthusiasm is actually really, really big. Energy and confidence. Now, what do these 8 actually have to do? Let me just delete all these comments. But what do these 8 have in common? That actually, I mean, you guys really nailed it, but they're really surrounded around the person who owns the business, I believe, because it's the credentials of that and the experience of the person, the authenticity, the confidence, the enthusiasm, the energy. Like, it's actually not even talking about solution to a problem. It's actually a lot more an emotional connection why people buy. And the bottom line of this is people buy people. And if you don't work on your personal brand, then no matter what service or product you have, yes, Eleni, they're totally buying you. Yeah. And no one's gonna buy that. And if you don't work on being really authentic and integral with what you're doing, they're gonna smell it a mile away. They won't know what it is. They won't be able to put their finger on it, but they will be able to smell it on you. And what I would say is the enthusiasm, the one that was really missing there. Can I just tell you that in my business and my journey has played a huge part. It's actually so many people have come up to me and have said, Nat, I just love your enthusiasm. Like, they've actually said it and used those words. So maybe because it didn't come up, that will be my point of learning and action that you need to take. That when you're talking about what you do, please use your enthusiasm. Please, like, just you need to be sold on it yourself before you can sell it to anyone else. Pretty much, you have to think that your program is the it and a bit, as we said before. Okay, that no one else can do it as better, as good, and that you're the best. That your program is the world's best program. It doesn't matter that you're doing something similar to Tony Robbins is, but no one is like you, and that is what you have to believe. You can't feel undermined by people that have been in the industry longer or seem to be bigger and better than you. They're not. Okay, so that's a big, big insight that I want to share here. Okay, guys, so now we're going to go into some of the strategies. So the 3 key strategies that you must undertake to make your brand known. The 1 move that can leverage your business, and why you are the secret to your success. And I think we've talked a lot about why you are the secret to your success to this point, and the fact that people buy you, and some of the skills that we've talked about. So let's now move into the 3 key strategies. So so this is how I started. Start here, okay? These are 1, 2, 3. Start here, continue here, and nail it there. That's what we're going to talk about. So legwork. Okay, so depending on where you're at in your business, and I believe at any stage, hitting the pavement and going out there and physically meeting people to build your brand is the fastest thing you can do to accelerate your brand exposure. Just think of politicians. What do politicians do? You're constantly seeing them say on TV, on channels, shaking people's hands. They're going out there meeting people. We have a local friend who ran for government here in our local area, and Valentina said tours. He went door knocking all around this surrounding area, meeting every single person that lives in our shire, if you like. Yeah. And he said, "Oh my God, there's so many meetings, there's so many lunches, there's so much door knocking, there's so much." And why did he do that? Because he wanted people to like him, trust him, and know him in that physical sense, so that they would vote for him be selected for the seat of this particular shire, as we said. So they don't do that for no reason. They do it to become well known, and they travel so much because that's the connection. Yes, Antonetta. So the connection. So how do we do this as business owners? There's three things you can do. So within each of these 3 points, I also have three subsections for you. So we are going to go through these fairly quickly because we cannot spend heaps of time on each of them. We only have an hour together, but I will tell you right at the end how we're going to go into a lot more depth with them in something absolutely amazing that I've got coming up. It's going to be so much fun. All right, so my formula has been always to be networking twice a week. Okay, to go out there to high quality networking events and to be connecting with people. So to date, I have been to about 600 events, whether it's events I've just been as a guest, whether I've spoken at events, or I have hosted them myself. Okay, so there's, if you really want to take it up a notch, which is the second point here, so not only do you attend events as your a networking general networking event, but if you really want to make it even stronger, then you host your own one and brand it under your brand, and you're positioning yourself as a leader, which is all of a sudden immediately escalates your brand and your standing. And then you approach and find opportunities where you can be a speaker at an event. So there's three aspects. You're just a visitor, you're the owner of the event, and then you are a speaker. So I think doing a combination of those three. Sometimes what you need to do, if you're really early on, this is my suggestion, just go keep visiting events so that you can meet the various leaders from those events so you can build a relationship, because no one's going to let you speak at their event if you haven't rocked up and actually experienced it and introduced yourself. You can't just ring up different leaders of different events. Oh, I want to come and speak at your event. So you got to focus on relationships. Okay. So the first thing is you start. That's why I put the first point as network twice a week. You do that for a little while until you meet and you get to know. You turn up, you turn up, you turn up, you turn up, and you get to know the people there and you get to know the leader there. Then the next step is you can start to ask to be a presenter. And what you can do is pull together like a little speaker bio sheet where you can have some topics you can offer the leader. Like, don't just go and say, I would love to speak here. Yes, that sometimes may work, but be a bit more professional. Have a A4 page where you put your picture, any other credibility things about you, a short bio, your three key topics as a speaker, and what are the takeaway points for people from them. Like, have a little blurb so then that leader would go, oh, okay, they look good. Like, oh, we'd like to have topic number one. Thank you very much. And are you available for this date? So then you book those dates with those leaders. And then as you have been building your network and you've done a few speaking events, by this stage you should have grown, the people that know of you. Well, how do you keep these together and how do you keep in touch? Well, the second strategy is obviously this is the offline strategy, and then we're going to go in the online world. So certainly you will connect with your network online so that you can be connected at a more constant rate so people don't forget about you. And that way they're following you, you're following them, and it works in a win-win situation. So once you have built that network and you do have it also established online, that is the time where I would suggest that you start your own event. Because if you don't have a big enough network and you go, oh, well, I'm going to just start a group, then perhaps you may not get the numbers that you normally would. Yeah? Yep. Stuart, any pointers on this topic?
No, absolutely. It's just making sure that you're consistent in it. That's it. It's just consistency, and from seeing you from the start, just taking up from the talking in front of one person, two people, whatever it was, and just doing it. Yeah. And then to the stages that you're speaking in front of now, that's where a lot of people give up. They say, oh, well, I'll cancel the event. So cancelling the events are the worst thing you can do. Yes. I've only got 5 people. I've only got 10 people. If you're wanting 20 or 30, that's one of the big takeaways that I think I wanted to share.
Yeah, thank you. And you're right. I did only speak in front of just a handful or once in front of one person. But you know what, guys? I never, ever in my life have I cancelled a webinar, a seminar, or a retreat that I've committed to. If one person's going to turn up, I will turn up for that person. And that is the difference between people who who go, you know what, I'm going to add massive value to this person. And at the end of it, I would have practiced, my expertise, and I would have spoken it out and just gotten better. And, getting good at speaking is really about doing the do. Fantastic. All right, joint ventures. So as you've progressed and you're running, you've gone to networking events, you have set up your own event, you are speaking at various events, and you're continuing to look for those opportunities. The last thing is that over a period of time, you would have made some really close connections and friends. So people talk about joint ventures being an amazing leveraging power to your brand, like you being next to a person that also is of high credibility is certainly going to build your brand as well. But those types of people that you want to rub shoulders with are not just going to rub shoulders with you just because you think, oh, we've got the same target market and we should go into a joint venture. So joint ventures occur after actually months or years of knowing a specific person and really, really having deep trust, because it's not here the trust of a client that knows, likes, and trusts you, but in a joint venture type of setting, you truly need to have very deep trust, because you're kind of really letting that other people into your whole community. So this could affect your whole reputation. So be very, very careful who you decide to rub shoulders with, how they will rub off on you. You should never be putting anyone at an event where for example, you're hosting an event, as we were talking. If you're going to have speakers that you invite to your event, you want your speakers to make you look good. You want your people to be grateful that you brought that speaker there. So make sure that you're selecting people that are going to make you look good in front of your community, and vice versa. If you're going to do partnerships in terms of, like, Robert Curry and myself have been doing quite a lot of events around Australia, and we'll be going around Adelaide, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney coming up end of September. Him and I, we've worked together now for a good 6 months, and we've known each other for like 9 months before we did anything. And I'm very grateful that particular partnership is working really positively on both of our brands, and together we're delivering double the value in what we do. All right, let's keep going. I'm not going to take questions, as I said now, because I do want to get through the content part, and I am going to take all the questions. But if you do have them and you sort of don't want to forget that you can post it up, and I'll then go back to it at the end, if that's cool with you guys. All right, so number 2 is keep it going here. So you started there with the legwork, and now you keep it going here. So the online world is certainly a place where we can continue to connect without having to go to 1,000,001 coffee chats, because I don't know about you, but you would agree that when you do get busy, and we all get busy in business, there's lots of things to get done. There's not enough time in the day to keep going out for coffee with many different people. So that's why often catching up with someone for a phone conversation, one-on-one, or a Skype coffee chat for 20 minutes, and you don't have to do hour-long appointments. Today's world, we're moving pretty fast. You should be able to say what you do and get to know someone fairly quickly, and vice versa, in a 20-minute appointment. And those 20-minute appointments would be a lot easier to attain with someone that you really want to start building a relationship with, rather than saying, hey, let's go for coffee, which might knock out half a day in someone's time. And nowadays, when people ask me, I kindly decline it and work out an alternative, because I certainly want to speak to people, and I will only go to ones that I really have a very purposeful end.
Well, Gary Vaynerchuk, if anybody follows him, he has a thing, whereas his meetings will never go for any longer than 10 minutes, no matter what it is. If it's that many things in, that he just knows that he can get things done. If he goes in with a purpose, the meeting has been fully... Everybody knows what the purpose of the meeting is. Get in there and get out, rather than just having a lot of time just wasted getting there, getting out, small talk.
Yeah,
you got to have a purpose for what you're doing.
So how do you keep it going online? Well, one of the strategies is get social. And some of you had some of those challenges, like how often do I need to be on there? I'm struggling to keep it up and all this sort of stuff. And I think it was Karen before. So but basically, there's really only a few rules. You need to choose the couple of social media platforms that you want to really get good at. So my two platforms are Facebook and LinkedIn. And LinkedIn doesn't really require a lot of maintenance. I know some people use it to a lot more depth. I use Facebook to a lot of depth, but LinkedIn, sort of when people connect with me, I'm always sort of sending a message saying, hey, great to connect here on LinkedIn. What was it about my profile that prompted you to connect? I'm just curious, just to get a conversation started. I'll connect with people that are LinkedIn that I meet out there, out and about at networking events. And certainly, I'll connect and invite people to join my Ultimate Business Support community on Facebook. But even friends, some people that I believe I want to get to know even better. So the trick is pick two social media platforms and get good at doing those and executing them. And the ones you would pick certainly is where your target market hangs out. And then you choose the times that your target market hangs out on them. So for us, it's first thing before people get out of bed, usually 7, 8 a.m., and this time of the night, right now. And this is why we're also on the call right now at this time, because a lot of our clients are parents and their kids have gone to bed by 8 o'clock, dinner's been done, and they can actually sit down and this is why the call is at capacity, because we know that our clients hang out at this time of the night at their computer, and they would sit through and learn through a webinar such as this. So work out what that time is and interact with them. And you don't have to be on there every 5 minutes responding. Yes, it's good to be a fast responder on social media. However, you don't have to be there. You can be there twice a day to respond to comments and questions or emails, and then put up your post. So either post in the morning and then reply to people in the evening and maybe have a little bit of interaction with them. So as long as you do that consistently, you don't have to be on there 50 times a day, because I think that's a false perception that sometimes people get of people who perhaps are on social media quite a lot. So that would be my advice is definitely I wouldn't be on 5, 6 platforms. That would absolutely make me go into overwhelm. All right, so then it's the lead magnet. Okay, so now how do you capture people? To build your brand, you need to capture people into your database. And to build your database, you need to give something of value that will solve people's problems. So your lead magnet needs to deliver results in advance. What do I mean by results in advance? Results in advance means like how to lose 5 kilos in 2 minutes. Okay? Who wouldn't want to get something like that? Yeah? My biggest and strongest lead magnet is my Ultimate 48-Hour Author book. I don't know, probably a lot of you have seen ads on Facebook where we give the whole book away. And that ad pretty much runs 24/7, 365 days a year. At the other end of that lead magnet is an invitation to come along to one of my half-day introductory events. And some of the people who opt in to get my book. So what I do is I give them 160 pages of my full system. So it's an amazing lead magnet. It converts at 60%. Now, for those of you who know your numbers on conversion and what that means, that is huge. So nearly every single second person, definitely every second person opts in. Karen goes, that rocks, Nat. So that is also why I'm passionate about people, giving away that resource, because my list grows by 600 to 700 people every single month. And you can imagine the size of it. And not everyone buys straight away, but that's not the point. The next step that happens is they end up in my funnel, which is where I've acquired those leads. Let's talk about the prospect of 1,000 leads come in every month. And that's sometimes some months we achieve that. Okay. And then the next step is 10% of those leads become prospects. Perhaps they come to my introductory event, or they come to a webinar, or they come to something that I'm hosting or being a speaker of. And from that interaction, 10% of those perhaps eventuate into customers fairly quickly. This is how it works. And with what we do, that's multiple 6 figures of income from those 10 customers. And the lifelong relationship, the lifetime value of our customers is quite long. So what I'm saying is have you got a funnel, a awesome lead magnet set up that's going to bring you those additional leads? So you know what they say, if you could get $2 for every dollar you spend, how many dollars would you spend? Well, the answer is infinite. So that is why also I run my ads 24/7, 365 days a year, is because it eventuates into this funnel where it gets people and nurtures people through a relationship. So absolutely. So where you see 1,000 leads and 100 prospects to 10 customers, that could be, say, in a month to 2 month turnaround. However, what happens is those 1,000 leads, also a certain percentage of those that didn't eventuate into the 10 customers, they actually end up being customers in 6, 12 months, 2, 3 years down the line. Because guess what? I have maintained a relationship through my database by sending them valuable content. I have maintained a relationship by being interactive on social media, and I've continued to expose my brand, my thinking, my beliefs, my intellectual property. And if they've been getting value, one day I get that phone call, one day I get that inbox, Facebook or LinkedIn message saying that I need to have a conversation with you. I want to do X, Y, or Z. Yep. So this is really, really important. So you're taking it on offline, you're meeting them. Online, you're engaging with them. Certainly, you're then also engaging with people who don't know you from a bar of soap through your lead magnet, and then into your sales funnel. Now, please don't get me wrong. A lot of you guys may not have the budget to be advertising on Facebook as aggressively as we do right now, but all of those strategies that I've taught you up to the lead magnet work without advertising on Facebook. You could be offering people something of value within a group, within a forum that they can get, and then you can collect emails and keep in touch with them. For the first 4 years in my business, I never advertised on Facebook, and I continued building my business through the people I met, through the people that were being referred to me, through speaking events, and that's how I collected and built my list. So it's only now that in the last 12 to 15 months that we have been able to have set aside a whole budget for how much we spend on social media, and that's it, and that's our marketing budget. Great. So let's go to the very last one. And this is the third one. Smash it and nail it. Okay. And of course, you guys know I'm the ultimate 48-hour author. I take people away on retreats and we help them write a book, because I think a book is the most awesome lead magnet you can have. However, if you don't know what to do with it, how to position it, what to write about, and to make it enticing so you get people to come to you, then it's a struggle. Yeah. And the things I've learned through authoring 5 books myself and helping 85 people do the same are amazing. But most of all, why I believe a book builds your brand the fastest way possible is because of these 3 things that it enables you to do. And here they are. It enables you to be considered for publicity so easily. This is publicity I've been on in the last 18 to 24 months, and it's been amazing. And it really has been easy. By presenting that I'm a multiple author now, that's even more credibility. By presenting topics and value-adding information to all of these media channels, I have not paid a cent for getting this publicity on various radios, magazines, and news.com.au. That was a huge one. So a book will always give you, they're always going to choose the expert who's written a book versus the expert that hasn't on a specific topic. So that's something to really consider. Second one is it enables you to get large speaking gigs. This is me at the Palazzo Versace earlier in February, speaking for a big national retailer. And for an hour and a half, I got paid $7,000, and the CEO got books for the audience from me, from my books. And it was so much fun. And this is not something I look out for regularly, but I got approached because they saw my article in a media outlet. Then they rang me, and then they also knew that I had a book specifically on the topic I was delivering. I was delivering on social media for them, and it was a really easy way to just say, yep, I've done this, I know this, I can bring this value, and really there was not too much back and forward. They were enabled me to speak and get paid for this gig quite great. And then last of all, a book enables you to leverage. So your book is a program. Your book is a system. Your book can be converted into other shorter ebooks, into 12-step programs, into a training manual. I mean, there's so many various, into a video type a training, into a two-day retreat. I mean, my ultimate 48-hour author book is a retreat. That's why we wrote that book, is so we can deliver a live version that gets people immersed and solves their problem from start to finish, and project manages the book. So the leverage that you achieve. So this is where I think it just starts to get beyond you selling that hour for hour for hour, and you start to really get rewarded through those online strategies and by being in front of large groups of people. And ultimately, the rock star profile, you guys, in terms of your brand, your personal branding, is absolutely, you have to be authentic, confident, and enthusiastic about what you do. But the components, the 3 components you need are speaking, authoring, and publicity. Those are the rock star components. And if your website doesn't ooze those things, how can you bring that in somehow within it? So certainly put pictures, certainly put your little logos, because when you've been in publicity, you've been there, and you can have that logo for life because you've appeared as seen on. All right, so we're coming close to 10 minutes to go. So I'm going to take you through something amazing that's coming up. And then we're going to take questions around all of this. You can go and pick my brain and ask Stuart anything that you'd like to know. But what we have coming up for the very first time ever is an amazing 2-day Ultimate Brand Accelerator Masterclass, because you would agree that 60 minutes is not enough depth that I could go into. So I will actually be preparing workbooks where you get to work on this stuff hands-on, so that when you take it away, you have got the stuff in hand. And the topic that we'll go through is exactly the things that we've spoken about today, is talking about your word of mouth explosion formula. So when you are out there, what are you saying, and how do you engage into that people into that authentic side of you? How do people buy you and get interested to go, wow, and tell me more about that? And we're going to go through certain templates that help you elicit what that's for you, and we'll also help you come up with your Stuart's going to do this one. He teaches you how to say what you do in one breath, like in 10 words, isn't it, Stuart?
Maybe 20.
Maybe 20, he says, but in one breath, okay? Number 2, we're going to social media. There's just so much in social media that we couldn't do justice on this call that you need to know about to build a community. We've got a community of 11,000 people, and I have a strategy that I'm going to get that community to 15,000 before this year is out. So I'm going to share some of those strategies. Number 3, lead magnets that build your list. So you don't have to necessarily write a whole book, but I want you to create a lead magnet that you're going to get people into your list, whether you're going to use paid advertising or you're going to have something that you're going to have on your website and be able to do around different forums and places where you can promote that, so you can get more people into your system. Number 4, product development for passive income. We're going to unpack a product for someone in the room, but then also you're going to do that for yourself. And we're going to work in small groups as well as collectively, because this is going to be massive. It's going to be very interactive. It's going to actually really also push people out of their comfort zone. Why is that? Because to have a successful brand, you have to be willing to stand out. So I'm going to have some little quite fun surprises along the way. There's going to be music. There's going to be something fun to look at. I'm not going to reveal any of those things. I was planning all of this on the plane the other day back from Newcastle, and I just can't really wait to launch it. Bums on seats. So how to get bums on seats if you are going to run your own events, and how to fill those, and what do you need to do. What are the strategies and some of the templates and checklists that you need to do that. Number 6 is sales funnels that lead to automated income. So we're going to look at how your funnel is set up And then we're going to go, well, this should be the natural next step, and this should be the natural next step, and this should be the natural next step for your clients that are on the journey with you. Number 7 is your speaking success system. So just not a full-blown, obviously speaking is a big topic that it requires its own probably week-long program. However, I will give you enough so you can start getting those speaking gigs from other say at other events, how you present yourself to them, and how to best pull together your presentation. So it won't be in a heap of depth, but you will have your speaker bio, and you will have your the way to approach people and how to pull together your presentation. Number 8, how to reach out to the media and win. And this is how we've been able to get publicity and media exposure, and how to do it yourself. And what are some awesome stories that story angles that you can present to the media. And last of all, obviously, it's about scaling your business. So how to scale your business through joint ventures, and how to approach those joint ventures, what to look out for as well, because I have had a couple of joint ventures that haven't gone as well. And what has happened is I've wasted a lot of time and money. So I just want to perhaps share what to do and what not to do. So I have spent over 100K learning this stuff. I have had mentors. Well, all of my mentoring, one-on-one mentoring has cost me $50,000 over the last 5.5 years. And then all the other programs, one-to-many that I have attended, have cost me another 50 plus K. But more importantly, you guys who know me, you know I like to get my hands dirty. And that is why I also, you know that I have taken action on all of this. And I will never, ever teach you anything that I have not done myself. So in this course, we do not cover cold calling, because I have never done cold calling in my life. And I will never teach it, because it's just not part of what I have had success with if I haven't done it. So what is the investment and what is it? So for tonight, only I have certain bonuses for this. We've got all my books plus the blue book when you come at the event, which is valued at $97. So the books will be accessible immediately via a link. The Ultimate Product Generator Manual, again, I will send you full training footage. I had a whole day training that I did with this program on how to develop your product, as well as your manual that you can print off. So this is all going to be accessible immediately via a Dropbox link. I have this little USB sticks, but you can have one of them to play with once you can come to the event. And what is it? It's normally $9.97. Now I know because all of you guys are Australia wide, there's only probably quite a handful of people in Melbourne. I'm just going to post this link up in the bottom section here. My awesome Facebook guy has created me, as I like to call them, pretty pages. So in the chat box, I've just posted a link that you can click through, and everything that I have just said is on this particular page, and that is where you can register for the masterclass. The reason I have discounted the price from $9.97 to $2.47 is because that price, the people who are from interstate will need to buy their flights, and they will need to stay somewhere. The venue is in Doncaster at the Quest, and the Quest has rooms that we have secured. So if people twin share, it's something around $80 a person that they can stay for the night, but you will need to ring them very quickly. So I'll send logistics emails for those people who do join us at the masterclass. It is Wednesday and Thursday, 28th, 29th of October, 9 to 5 p.m. We do have 15 spots remaining. It's going to be a huge day because I've already promoted this at other times. And there is 100% money back guarantee. If you don't love it, you could spend it 2 days, and after 2 days, you can tell me, Nat, no, I didn't get my value. I'll give you your money back. I really back myself in this, and I think this is just a no-brainer. And really, what this is, you guys, this is your answers of what you would do if you were ever going to write a book. Okay, so for those of you that are already authors, and I know some of my authors are on this call, this is awesome for you now that your book's coming out, or that you've got it out to refresh and really get to that next level and ask even more questions. And those of you that are thinking of authoring, this is your natural step, so you know and you're armed with all your knowledge that if you were to write a book, you will be able to you will know what steps you need to follow beyond that. let me just see. This is what I was going to leave you just before 9 p.m. that people don't buy what you sell, they buy what you value. But I'll leave it back here. And what I'll do now is I'll open up the floor for any questions. So you can ask me questions around the content that we delivered. You can ask me questions around anything that you're curious about with the masterclass, because I know sometimes people have all of that. You're welcome, Kylie. Nice to have you. And absolutely, if you need to go, then go. But we're here to answer everything. All right, here we go. Thanks, Tim, as well. Tim, I'll talk to you soon. All right, Joe. Hey, Nat, can I be cheeky and ask for the links to the bonuses? I've already signed up and paid for this event. Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Of course. I'm going to send you the stuff. And anyone that signed up will get access to all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to having you there. And I'll send you the stuff later. Actually, I might just send it to everyone so I don't miss anybody. That's cool. Karen says, is this yes, this is a 2-day event, 28th and 29th of October, 9 to 5. So it's a huge thing. It's actually quite a big deal, and something I'm doing for the very first time. Lucy, great. Have a good night. Moving on, moving into the new house. See you, Lucy. You're welcome, Joe. Thanks, Eleni. Joe wants to send hearts to your webinar. You can do that on Periscope. Send me hearts. Yeah, all right, thank you. Awesome. Okay, sounds, hang on, I've got here, Karen, sounds fab. Now I'm running a workshop for a client on the Thursday. Well, you're welcome to come on the Wednesday if you want. I mean, I'm sure you'll walk away with insights for that part of it, but it's up to you. Oh, Wendy's her birthday. All right, cool. You're refining your brand, Ruby. Yes, we'll be helping with that. We will be, even people who, well, this is what it's all about. It's not just about a already established brand. It's people who actually probably are not doing as well with their brand and they want to make it even better, or they want to refine it. Then this course is definitely going to cover those kind of things and lots more. Anything else you?
Just from what I've seen of the content that Nat's already put together for it, yeah. It was Ruby that had asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the biggest things is knowing, even from the early days when you're starting out, just getting your head around what you are going to need to be almost from the start. Because if you're taking the steps early on and just getting everything in place, you're going to actually get where you want to get a lot faster. So yeah, for anybody it's going to go right the way. From businesses that are already turning over multiple six-figure businesses, we've met quite a few lately that they've had a great lot of success with what they're doing, but they've totally plateaued because they are not stepping up into the next level of where they need to be. So stepping out of their own comfort zone. So people are offering to pay $10,000 a month just to work with Nat one-on-one, and it's like, no, it's not about the money. You need to come and do something a bit differently.
Yeah.
So that's something that for those of you that have either very successful businesses but you're a little bit plateauing, or you know that your next step is stepping up and really being seen as the brand itself and doing what Michelle Bridges is known for, the WBT. So taking it to that level of awareness in the market.
And it's possible for anybody, I mean, had anyone told me that I would have this super amazing program retreat that I would run and it would have so much credibility and people knowing it all over the country, I would have never believed it or known that it was possible. But when you get immersed in these two types of days, not only, even if you've heard a lot of stuff that I would say, like Joe, for example, on the call earlier, not sure if she's left, but Joe said to me, look, Nat, I've attended a lot of seminars and things like that. And she said, but I know every time I attend something where she hasn't been to a lot of my stuff, I always get different insights from different people. And I always, even just by being immersed with people in the room, the power of the mastermind, you guys, is amazing. This is I actually see a lot of value nowadays in group type of work, because so much great ideas come up. I mean, there's time and place for one-on-one, but there's also really, you should be doing half. That's why I said, actually, I've spent 50 grand on my one-on-one development and then 50 grand plus on my one-to-many with other people. Cool. Just a few more other comments coming up, so let me just read through those. Arlene just said, "Thank you, Natasha. Such an informative, interesting call. All the best with the move. Thank you. Bye for now." Chris, when you start out, is it a must to have low, medium, and high-end products like downloadables? It's great to have a variety, and my current mentor calls it the Las Vegas model, a buffet of offers that would suit different budgets and different abilities of people to do work with you. And also, it allows them to build that trust, Chris, because people often are not, if they haven't met you from a bar of soap, like how do they know? They're scared to make that commitment. And really, your offers and at any level need to be a really no brainer. To tell you the truth, sometimes it's harder to sell something that's lower cost than something that's higher cost. But you do need to just be aware of when are you offering certain things and on what kind of platforms. So, for example, just to be completely transparent, on a webinar, it's unlikely that you would sell anything that's more than, say, $9.97. $1,000. So because people are not there to physically feel and experience you. So on a webinar, anything that's like 97, 147, 500, whatever, when you're getting to the top end, it's still quite a big commitment. But you need to just be aware of where and how you place those offers. That's something that I was making a lot of mistakes for in the early days, and that's where I'm going to deliver that within the sales funnel section of what to avoid. Yes, Antoinette, absolutely it is suitable for those early in their journey. You heard me say that I wrote my weight loss book when I had just one client and I had generated $3,000 in that business. There was nothing that I had done. And because of that book, that is actually what got me people just taking me seriously. And I seriously felt that it just shifted the way I saw myself. And because of that, my confidence and ability to attract clients and just know that I was worth what I was asking for was the difference that made the difference. And totally, if anything, if you get surrounded by people who are ahead of you on your journey, they're going to lift you there. So, Antonetta, absolutely. Wendy said, I could have told you that 12 months ago. Review, yes, I'm in the starting over again. Thank you. We'll be there. Excellent. Looking forward to having you there. Elaine, fitting in with networking events when working full time is difficult to do. I can do a couple, but not every week. Would joining a women business networking group and or Toastmasters be the same? Yes, absolutely would be. Anything where you are with groups of people is networking. Even a party that you go to and you tell people what you do. That's networking too, you guys. Don't just think about a business networking event being the only type of networking. You know, any kind of professional development type of groups that you belong to. Like me and Karen are part of the National Speakers, which now it's called Professional Speakers of Australia. Now that's an association, but really we also network a lot within that association. Cool. Kylie said, a friend said she just sent you a Facebook PM. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that after the call. Jonathan says, thanks, great. And that, great as usual. Cheers. You're welcome. I think it was a question about the event. All right. Well, I'll answer any Facebook questions. You guys are welcome to Facebook inbox me for your private questions that you don't want me to read out on this call. And true, I need to break those barriers with Chris that she says there. Awesome. So that was the end to my comment list. Oh, here we go. One more come up. Valentina, what about photos, image make a difference to your brand? Yeah, totally. Photos and images. You guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but every single retreat, I'm jumping in front of the camera. We do a professional photo shoot at the end of every retreat for our authors, but I'm always taking new, fresh photos and being like silly. You might have seen the one in the black and white stripy dress recently that I had with that clock that's like an idea. Like these are all just fun things that I do. So yes, like make sure that you do take a lot of professional photos and things that you are taking because visually 60% of people are visual, and that's why we encourage a lot of video interaction. That's why I'm also on Periscope. By the way, if you're not following me on Periscope, get on there because I sort of just go on it impromptu and I talk live with people quite randomly. Awesome, Fonga. Nice to see you, Fonga. I met Fonga in Brisbane earlier this year. I'll be back in Brizzy in late October, November for 10 days. So I hope to catch up. Thank you for saying I'm awesome. Kylie, is this event will be is this event will you be covering the difference in website to build brand and promote service that building a following as a leader? I don't know if this question makes sense to me. Can you understand it? We're not going to, if the question is about websites, we will look at a look of a good website for a great personal brand. We'll look at a few, but we're not going to go into too much depth around websites because you know what, Kylie? I think you connecting with people online and offline is a lot stronger for people following you. The website is there really as a brochure, and unless you spend thousands upon thousands to search engine optimize it, it's not really your most the strongest lead generating vehicle that you will have. I believe when people meet you or see you online, then they'll go stalk your website. That's what I believe happens, rather than you organically showing up. Unless like I have never in my life search engine optimized my websites, but people do visit them. But it's because they meet me and get to know me.
I guess simply we'll certainly be sharing the things that you would want to have on a website, and then you'd obviously find your own person to go and do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll tell you the things that will make you stand out and be perceived as that the credibility source and the expert in your niche.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Fong is excited about me going to Queensland. Will you be talking about how to combine two businesses? Absolutely, we can do that. But obviously, if a person has a couple of different things, or we might tell you, are you splitting your attention too much and not doing any of either of them well? Because what I found in my first year is I did so many things where I diverted my attention from the core thing, which is why I only generated $7,000. So what I will be encouraging you and teaching you is how to have focus as well. But if those two businesses are aligned and are not going to distract you too much, then absolutely I will be talking about how you can combine it. Great from Kylie. Number one, build a brand and promote a service. Number two, build a following as a leader. Perfect. Yeah, great. Awesome. Excellent. So as soon as I kind of finish up to close off the call, another little comment pops up. But there's no more there now. So it's been an absolute pleasure, you guys. As I said, any further questions that you have, inbox myself, inbox Stuart. We'll both be there. Not only will you get me, you will have 2 or 3 special other people that are going to get a value so you don't get sick of hearing me. You're going to have Stuart talking to you about your message. I'm going to have a special person helping you create change and how you do that. And I'm going to have another special person doing the bums on seats because she knows different tricks to what I have. So I'm not going to tell you who those are, but these are all people that are just going to add value to you. So just come along if you can. If your schedule allows, we'd love to have you there because this is the launch of this, and who knows if it's ever going to happen again. Thank you, Valentina. Awesome to have you on the call. Thank you, Ruby, as well. Yes, we can't wait to start moving, get those keys in our hands. Elaine, yes, I wish you could be here too, but yeah, we'll talk about it when I get to Perth as well. I'll see you in Perth. I feel like the whole country's here on the call with me. Thank you. I feel that will be worthwhile for me. Excellent, Antoinette. I look forward to getting to know you. I've never met you, I don't think, in real life. And talk to you soon. Thanks, Elizabeth. And Wes, I think you were there on the line as well. So nice to have you both there. All right, gorgeous people. We will let you have your evening. We're very excited. We can't wait, and you'll see some house photos of our mad move tomorrow. He says hi. Hi, Wes. All right, see you. Have a great night.